Hello everyone and welcome back to Exploration Series. This time we're on the third episode and today we are at Lime Kilns, where behind me you can see the lime kiln itself. Now this fantastic piece of architecture is not just a reminder of Scotland's history, but it's a reminder of the history to the entire world. This was one of the biggest of its kind in Europe and the production here was huge.
In today's episode, we are in the Kingdom of Fife, visiting the lovely little coastal village of Charlestown. Charlestown is located just southwest of Dunfermline, which recently was given the status of a city. This status was given by the Queen as part of celebrations for her upcoming Platinum Jubilee. The limeworks at Charlestown were first developed in the 18th century by Charles V, Earl of Elgin. The kilns complex, with its impressive bank of 14 kilns, was the largest of its kind in Scotland and one of the largest in Europe. This fantastic structure played a key role in the industrialisation process by supplying quicklime for both agriculture and construction. The structure was built from sandstone, and the large tunnel openings gave access to the side draw holes that served the kiln shafts. These draw holes controlled airflow to regulate the rate of burning and allow quicklime to be drawn out of the kiln. The harbour was specially built to allow ships to get as close as possible to the kilns, so that product could be shipped out of the east coast of Scotland and further afield. Initially, 6 kilns were built in the 1750s and another 8 were added a short time later. All 14 kilns operated until 1956, when the structure became redundant.
Well, here we are folks at the entrance into the structure itself. You can see here we've got a big display board telling you exactly how things worked here. There's a lovely diagram of the place when it was still at its finest times. You can see tunnels from the inland brought the carts in. The supplies were then brought down through the structure where they were burned and melted. They were then loaded back onto mine carts that went round the front of the building and loaded onto ships. And if you look that way, you can see the remains of the harbour that was left where these boats were waiting. And where we're standing, this was a long line of track where the mine carts that were used for the operation came out to board onto the ships. And you can see here on the diagram the tunnels that you can now see all the way across. These were the main entrance and exit points in and out of the structure. Some of them stayed level with the ground that we're on right now. Some of them went very deep down into the earth. And that's why when you're here, it's very important that you stay in the permitted public zones that have been open for people. What's nice about this place is that we're really lucky, as we are with a lot of things in Scotland. A lot of historical buildings have been opened up to the public, so you can have a look and you can have a feel of what things might have been like, and that's exactly what we're going to go and do.
Many years after the limework fell silent, it has now been reopened in certain areas for the general public. People can walk around inside and out a select number of the tunnels. Many people have visited this site since its reopening for historical purposes, documentaries, just a day out, and filming crews also spent lots of time on this site and had special access to some of the more darker tunnels when filming a show called The Outlander.
Well folks, we are now in the very structure itself. As you can see, a bit of a tight squeeze, but it is very fascinating. It's quite an amazing structure. You can see the tunnels, some of them are very, very small, so a lot of workers would have to do what I'm doing right now and crouch down, otherwise you'd be hitting your heat. But just looking at it and hearing the echo, it's just a fantastic structure. And to be able to get into it as well, it's just, even if it is just a small bit you're allowed into, it is still quite fantastic. You can see the walls, you can see how You see how bad it's getting in condition. The place has been standing for many years, and it's just incredible that it's still here. You'd expect a building like this to be at its last bit of age by now, or you'd expect most of it to have fallen apart. But this specific structure has been kept alive for purposes of heritage, and it's fantastic to see. And I recommend to anyone come and have a look at this because it's fantastic.
Thank you for watching the third episode of Exploration Series 3. Hope you enjoyed.